AP Chemistry Screencast 1.6, What's Not on the AP Chemistry Test? Of all the strategies involved in doing well on the AP Chemistry Test, perhaps one of the most important is to not waste your time. Let's not study things that aren't on the AP Chemistry Test. You have to dig around a little bit to actually see what's asked and what's not asked. And usually the best source is the people that have been monitoring this for 20, 30 years, that have never ever seen a question in a certain topic and have concluded that this is just not asked. So we will not be studying that which is not on the test. And a lot of these are really good decisions. A lot of these are things that, oh my God, it's such a nasty little detail and who really cares. So let's just take a look at, not all of them, but let's look at it briefly. The exceptions to the Aufbau rule. There's lots and lots of metals that don't follow the typical 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 sort of Aufbau rules that show you exactly where the electrons are. And that's nice since, who cares? The quantum numbers n, l, n sub l, and m sub s are no longer used for doing the Aufbau order. And I always thought that those were perhaps mathematically interesting, but it's easier just to follow the typical Aufbau pattern. Phase diagrams don't show up, not sure why. Colligative properties don't show up, and we cover that deeply in first year chemistry. The boiling point elevation and the freezing point depression for solutions. Even things like molality, percent by mass, and percent by volume aren't covered. Rather, molarity gets covered almost exclusively. That's a little strange, but okay. Weak hydrogen bonds aren't covered. Types of crystal structures, oh my God, that gets complicated. That's not covered. We don't have to defend the Lewis models in terms of their, where the electrons are. Deriving atomic orbitals. Oh, well, let's skip some of these. Oh, I'm thrilled that hybridization doesn't get covered since it seems like such a band-aid solution to an issue with the Aufbau order and how it's used to describe bonding. So sp3 hybridation, things like that. All you have to do is recognize what it is for a given substance within a given substance. Okay, I don't want to go over all these, but you can see that there's lots and lots of topics that are not covered. And these, when we get to each unit, we're going to point out that we don't need to solve questions for the Balmer formula. You don't need to know the wavelength when you go from the fifth shell to the third shell for an electron and a hydrogen atom. It's only qualitative. And once again, we did cover that in detail in first year chemistry, but hey, that can help you. Let's just summarize by saying that lots and lots of things are not on the AP Chemistry test, and it helps to know what they are. And this is a pretty good list. Adrian Dingle, who's been teaching AP Chemistry forever and publishes a lot on the web, is obsessed with this, and he has a list as well. So this is what's not on the AP Chemistry test.